Hello, folks. Welcome back to another installment of Fantasy Map Friday, my favorite stream of the week. Maybe your favorite stream of the week. I don't know. Let me know, huh? Let me know in the comments. But welcome back. I'm amped to be here, y'all. The coffee is hot. The map is fantasy. The day is Friday. Everything is ready. Let's have a good one today, huh? What area of the map are we going to work in today? I've got some ideas about it, but I'll hear your thoughts as well before we make a final decision. As a quick zoom out, here's the map as it stands now. I know it's square, doesn't fit into the rectangular view too well. Sorry about that, but we'll zoom in. We'll zoom in on all the detail when we want. We can get right down in there. Barry, you said the little chain of islands to the west is what you want to work on. Okay, so like right in here? That sort of deal, yeah, what you're talking about? Lines and Lore editorial, good to see you. Welcome in. Ka, you have our first Cyprus comment of the day. Congrats to you. Yes, it is Cyprus. My family's from Cyprus. So I put it in there as a bit of a Easter egg, but it was too obvious. So we just went ahead and turned it from an Easter egg to full-on Cyprus by making it look exactly like the island. Carlos, is this a D&D map? It's not, but it certainly could be. The program we're using is Incarnate. I'll put it in chat for you right there. It is a lovely little free online map maker. I highly recommend it. All right, well, folks, we had one vote for working on these little islands over here today, which could certainly work. I don't really have any plans for these, so it'll truly be organically just kind of build them as we go, which is the intent. I kind of think this mountain's a little bit small, y'all, looking at it. I'm going to make it bigger, and then I'm going to make the land fit around it a little bit. That brush size might be a little bit big. What do we think? How about something like that? No, that's still too small. Like a 4? It's a little bit big, but we can probably make that work. Paul at is indeed Cyprus on the map. My family's from there, so we went ahead and put it in as an Easter egg. I want to make this mountain bigger too. They just got a little bit too small too quick. And I also want to take away this little, yeah, there we go, that little strip of land that's popping out from behind the mountain. I want the mountain to be the edge of the island. There we go. A little bit of pedantic work to start it off, huh? Micah, how long have I been working on this? I don't know. Hold on. Let me look at I have a folder here that would tell me, because I save an image after each stream. Let's see here. If I can open the folder. Nope, that's the wrong one. This is stream number 7 that we've been working on this. So probably like 14 hours. But we're not trying to move quick on it. I'm enjoying it, taking my time. And also, we've kind of laid a lot of the groundwork at this point. So I think it's really going to start taking off. Also, Ka, you got excited about Cyprus, so Kalimera, my friend. Yasu. Ah, Melissa, you're too kind. Welcome in. Good to see you. Happy Friday to you, and thank you. Thank you for the tiny reading. Amazing. You know the drill. Gift for a gift, right? So, you give a gift, you get a gift. There's some goblins for you to add to the army. I appreciate that, 938. You found your people, instant follow. We're happy to have you. Welcome in, my guy. Gage, you feel like you've seen the map before? I stream a lot on here, so you might have seen it on one of those days. We've been working on it for a hot minute here. Get off my lawn, guy. Hey, good morning, buddy. Welcome in. I'll try not to slurp my coffee too loudly. Alright, so y'all, I do have an idea for what to work on today. This little continent right down here, if I can get it out from behind my head. So this is, largely unshaped. I mean, it's there, but like it's I've only got one desert on it. The rest of the terrain is basic at this point. I want to update it. But as a lot of y'all know, this was the last map we did, which is more of a regional map for the book. Kind of where it starts, kind of setting where the main characters live, etc. This is supposed to exist on this world, and we need a place for that to happen. I'm thinking this continent might be best if we take, up in here, our legally distinct Mordor. If we take that up in this top left corner, I think that kind of works, being this corner of mountains, and then we could have the rest of it down here with the swamp kind of off of this. It's not it really was supposed to be a river. It's so big, it looks like it might be more of an inlet, something like that. But I think you could fit that map in right here, which is technically how it's supposed to work. This map is contained in the world map. So maybe we do that today. That could be kind of fun. Melissa, you're excited about that idea? I love it. Fantasy book, you want to hear about it? Says Pretentious. Pretentious, this is the book right here. It's called Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon and save him from the forces of good. But they're goblins, so they mess it up at every possible opportunity. If that sounds interesting, it's available on Amazon and Audible and all those fun places. Links are in my bio if you want to pick it up. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, Cheyenne. I am a D&D enjoyer, and it has been described. One of the earlier reviewers described the book as a D&D session where nobody put any points into intelligence, and the DM's taking a shot after every chapter, which I was absolutely tickled pink by. That was a perfect description in my opinion. The app that I'm using is Incarnate. It's a free online map maker. I just put the name in chat for you. Check it out. Alright, so I think, thank you, Shunka. You rock. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the audiobook. The audiobook is a treat. Sound Booth Theater went all in on it. Brought in Jeff Hayes, Dory Sachs, Justin Thomas James to narrate. It's a joy. They went overboard. Alright, so I almost want to, if I'm going to be working on making this regional map in the world map right in this corner, I kind of need to establish the borders of it a little bit, but I think maybe step one is to turn these mountains more red, because and the land around it, because the ground up here in legally distinct Mordor is very red with the angry mountains and the lava and whatnot. And if you've been around on the previous streams, you know how infamously difficult the lava is to work with. But you know what? I might be able to just copy the color settings of these mountains to just remake them. Oh, based on this, it looks like it's actually just a red mountain that I grabbed. I didn't actually color shift it. So, if we go to this view, so you can see a bit more, and I pull up my mountains, there should be just a red mountain in here that we can plop down in there and start working on this. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Look at that. Make it a little bit bigger so it fits with the other mountains here. Let's find the exact stamp, and we're going to size it correctly so that these mountains are the right size. Doesn't look like there's actually a perfect match. Interesting. Oh well, this is roughly about the right size, right? If we paste that in there. Yeah, that's about the right size. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Shunka, for putting the Incarnate in chat. You are correct. I appreciate that. And yeah, it is an SPT production. I'm a huge fan of the folks over at Sound Booth, man. They're awesome people. Bert, good morning, my friend. Welcome in. How you been? Oh, forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Good to go. Y'all, happy Friday to you. I hope you're doing good. Let's kick the end of the work week off with a little bit of fun in a fantasy world, huh? My favorite way to start a week. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete most of these mountains because we're gonna replace them with their ominous red counterparts, and then we're gonna paint the terrain around them to match the volcanic soil that we're going for here. Tales from the Sketchbook, you are absolutely correct. It is Incarnate. Such a lovely program. Alright, there we go. There's a couple in here. Joe Smith, you like the mountains? They're pretty fun. The default fantasy map element. Everybody overuses mountains, and you know what? I ain't even mad about it. Mountains are cool, y'all. In this comment section, we stand mountains. Tales from the Sketchbook, how you doing today? Thank you for stopping by. Bert, you finished a big story yesterday? How big we talking here, my guy? What mischief are you working on for us next in the world of the night market? There we go. All right, now we'll get rid of our boring normal mountains if I can click it. There it is. Nope, that was the cool one. There we go. Alright, so the red mountains are smaller. So when the box gets bigger, I know we've selected the old mountain that we're replacing. Is there one behind this? Nope. Rock on. I think there was a mountain up in here, and then we need one right about here-ish. Bada boom. Wrong one. Hello, Fat Frog. Welcome in, my friend. Oh, Cheyenne, you just picked up the book. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the adventure. All right, we're just gonna move this mountain down here because it's being problematic. I also like how this, I didn't even realize this waterway like curved, and I just hidden it behind the mountain. I want to get a different mountain there so we can show that off a little bit. That's kind of a cool feature. So let's grab like this guy right here, and we're going to flip it horizontal. There we go. So you can kind of see the water's like curving in there. Maybe undo the horizontal flip. Maybe it's better kind of like that. I don't know. We'll work on the final placement of it. The website is called Incarnate, y'all. I'll put it in chat for you. It's a wonderful website, free online map maker. Kevin Crawford over on the video app. How you doing, man? Buenos dias, if I can remember my Spanish. I always say the wrong thing. Buenos versus buenos. If I were better at Spanish, I would remember which is which. My Spanish friends get mad at me. All right, I think... Yeah, there we go. These rivers were actually like running into the mountain. Well, that's how I had it originally. Martin, you said, what is the fantasy book about? So it's right here, and my monitor is moved weirdly. It is a fantasy comedy book about goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon and help him use it to defeat the forces of good. Except they're goblins. They're not good at doing things. They mess up. They get distracted. They go on side quests. It's a very goofy adventure. If that sounds interesting to you, give it a look. It's linked in my bio. It's an audiobook. It is an ebook. It is a paperback. It is any format you want, pretty much. Give it a look. I'd appreciate it. Lions and Lore, thank you for the heart me. And Melissa for the heart me as well. Thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate it. You're too kind. Lions and Lore, a goblin for you. Happy Friday to you. Martin, or what is it? It's Martigan. Martigan. I'm going to call you Mart. Can you buy it in the Netherlands? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's on Amazon, so whatever, I think it's probably Amazon EU. It is for sale on there, so you could grab it there. Y'all, I'm going to flip these mountains if they kind of have like a an angular vibe going on here, right? So I want to try to maintain that, almost like they're the edge of a continental plate that's crashing up. Um, Jack Ann, you're taking over the team by being a Heart Me stream team member on both accounts. A sinister plot. Well played. I fully support this decision. Alright, I don't want this mountain. It's just the wrong shape compared to the old mountain we had there in terms of how it interacts with the water. So we're going to have to move the water a little bit. Oliver, this map maker goes pretty darn in-depth. I mean, you can zoom in about as far as you want. And it's got people and buildings and cities and all that fun stuff. We're just still at the geography steps here on this one. So I'm doing a lot of terrain and whatnot. But, I mean, it's pretty involved. For reference, here's another map I made on it, if we zoom out. This is a little more of a regional level of zoom. But, yeah, you can get right down in there, you know. Down to the individual tree and bush, etc., etc. But I've done a lot of maps that are a bit more close in like this, so I've been enjoying doing this one, which is a little more of a world map. Making liberal use of the zoom function here. Kevin over on the video app, he said I should make it like a wave, talking about the mountains down in here, our very standout red mountains right now. Josh, you said what's the new map for? It's for Wriggly Little Hands, my comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon for him so they can defeat the forces of good. Except they're goblins, so you know they do a terrible job. They can't focus on task. They get distracted. Go on side quests. It's a lot of fun. Link is in bio. The middle island does look like Cyprus because it's supposed to look like Cyprus. My family's from there. I had put it in as a little bit of an Easter egg, like a rough-shaped cypress, very, a little bit harder to tell what it was. Everybody instantly found out what it was. So I said, you know what? We're just gonna make full-on cypress in there. So there's Cyprus. It's just tilted a little bit. You gotta like that, then it'll be good. Alright, let's paint this ground a little bit, because the red mountains stand out so much, and what I want to do is, you see, I paint, when I get to the finished part of the map, I'll paint the ground to match the region, the vibe of the region. So this is actually, this region here is what those mountains are, so I need to get this ground painted this brown, gray, red color. That was kind of the three colors we used in here. So we're going to paint a lot of that continent that color now to kind of distinguish it. Because this map is a regional map embedded in this world map. Slindy, welcome back, my guy. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling better. Mario SVE. Am I going to add cities? Yeah, we're going to add cities and all that. We're just at the geography steps right now. So we're laying out coastlines, cutting rivers through terrain, plopping down mountain ranges, etc., etc. But we're gonna get on to smaller things like trees. We'll put those in there, and roads and cities and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Are we happy with these mountains? I feel like I can rock with them. All right, let me look at the edge of them because the smaller map that we did is going to be right here, and I want to make sure the mountain shape is the same in terms of, so it looks like it's kind of a curve down along this river. Oh, and you know what? It's even got this river that goes along the front of it, so I need to put that in. All right, we can make that happen. So it comes in from the side, from these hills up here, runs along the front of the mountains, and then curves down towards the swamp. All right, well, let's put that river in here. maybe grab a few more small mountains in here. Oh, nope, not tilt. Not tilt. Scale. Though not both of them. Alright, this is all going haywire. Let's undo all of that. Grab a new mountain. Plop it here. Size it down a little bit. Kind of like there-ish. And this is the edge of the mountain, so typically you'd have smaller mountains there at the edge of the range. So let's size them down a little bit. Something kind of like that. Oh, thank you, Like Plin. I'm glad you like the map. Welcome in, by the way. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're doing well. Kevin, that's a cool thought over on the video app. Glad to have you watching there. I do have an impact crater right here that folks wanted to put in, which is kind of along those lines. All right, but let's. I want to paint the ground, then we'll do the river. So let's see. I have my brushes saved over here, so I can find the color combo I used there. Okay, I think we can recreate that. Let's grab this orange, and we're on foreground layer, and we want a lower opacity. Yeah, that's actually really nice right off the bat. So that's a good first layer color. We'll use this as our base, and then we're going to add some gray, some black. We're going to get that volcanic ash vibe going on up in here. This is going to be fun. Painting is my favorite part of all this anyway. It does a good impression of real life painting. A little bit of a wet on wet style if you've ever done that. All right, there we go. That's a nice orange. I feel like we're going to need to take it to the coasts a little bit. Let's get a lower opacity, a bigger brush size so we get a softer edge on this. We're just going to kind of swoosh it on out there. Mix it in with the desert nice and good. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Let's favorite this brush so that I don't lose it. There we go. What species will live on here? Live in the new map? Well, we got, let's see, if we're going off the book, there are goblins, there are humans, there are elves. I didn't include any dwarves, but they certainly exist there, at least in the book this is from. I'm actually writing the sequel to it starting next week, so that's going to be fun. We'll have opportunities to create more races, interesting species. There's definitely octo people, which I only created as a joke in the book because they were sorting mail in a mailroom, and I figured they had a lot of arms. That would be fun. So those exist. I'm trying to remember what else there is. There's a lot of crazy little things. There's a fun one that I really like called, they're just called pests, but they are little like rat-like things with extra legs, and they eat knowledge. So like essays and books, and every time they eat one, they grow larger, so they become like a really big problem if they get into a library or something. Marked, there are definitely wizards in here, especially considering I just wrote a prequel story for this world, right here, featuring a wizard character. This will be coming out, I think, next week. I'm pretty ready to launch it. Alex, could I let games be made based on this? I mean, I'd totally do that. It just needs to be popular enough, you know? Need enough readers out there to do it. I'd be totally down for that, though. This is a very silly fantasy world, so the only real rules in it are make things fun and funny. Alright, let's darken up this ground a little bit. I'm trying to get that volcanic color. I still need to bring some red in. There's a little bit of red missing in here. Let's get a bit of red going on. And you know what? I'm going to keep the red more to the mountains. And we're going to spread out the orange and the brown around the edges a little bit. Kind of like an angry wound. I still need something a little bit more red. Something kind of like, there we go. I think this is going to be the color. Isabel, it's not hard at all to learn Incarnate. It's super friendly and very easy to use. I have no qualifications to be using Incarnate beyond I think it's fun, and I've done it a couple times. You'll get good at it very quickly, I think. I think it'd be kind of cool if the color of this continent, it is very bright, stands out a lot. We're going to soften those edges because they're a little bit too crazy. Oh, what's up, Sung Moon? Good to see you. And who was it? Nathan Braverman, you said just popping in, but good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to have you. Hope your week's been going well. Hope your Friday's going better. Let's start it off right. Get a little bit of fantasy vibes in here before we cruise into the weekend, y'all. All right, I feel like I'm applying makeup now, guys. We're blending in all these colors to make our angry red volcanic soil like we have up here. Which, looking at it, has a little more brown in it than I'm putting here. So and a little bit of black too. Let's grab that black. This brush is called Black Rough Wasteland. That seems pretty accurate. Sung Moon, this map is actually bigger than the book one. So book one would take place basically entirely down here. If we look at this one, since I made this one actually like for where the book starts, our goblins start. Let me grab a brush you can see. Start right down here in the swamp. They head up through the caverns of Whispering Web to legally distinct Mordor to get their mission from the Dark Lord, and then they set off into the world. And I think if we're using the zoomed out map here, they kind of go down to here, they come around through here, they hop over here, they pop to the desert, and then they swing all back for the climactic finale. Chef Tech, that is Cyprus. My family's from there. I had included a rough approximation of Cyprus as an Easter egg. Everybody instantly recognized it as Cyprus, so I went ahead and said, you know what? We're just putting Cyprus in here full on, and we're just going to say it exists in this world. Which canonically means halloumi can exist. So I get to rave to a whole new audience about the joys of halloumi. Dino Dvornik, I use Incarnate for this, and thank you for your kind words, my friend. Ha, Kevin on the video app. Thank you for watching over there as well. You said if I put a bit of red water in the rivers, it could look like lava. Well, have I got something for you, my friend. There we go. Here's some of that red water. We worked on that a while ago. It is a pain to make the lava flows, but I did so many of them on the first map right in here that I kind of got a continuum. It just takes so long to make. I wish there was an easier way to do it. But yeah, regrettably, I'll have to put a few down in here. I'm actually going to move these mountains a little bit. I'm going to make this shaped a little bit more towards the area it's supposed to represent. Alright, so we're going to do it like that. Dino, there's Cyprus for you. It's just tilted. It's a little bit tilted. You know, the point's pointing a little more north than it would IRL. Do I like garlic bread? Hello, Millie. Good to see you. I do like garlic bread. What was I thinking? Oh, I wanted to look at these mountains here so I can carve this river in. Oh, it looks like they're even on both sides of that river. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that river in. I think, regrettably, I'm going to need to remove this river here, because this was made before I determined what this continent was going to be. So let's knock out a bit of it. We'll come back and work on that later. Phajin, we do have a lava lake hanging out right here on the other map, so we might have to throw another one in. Alright, so I'm sorry if I flip back and forth a lot. I'm looking at this river. So it runs kind of like northeast to southwest, then it hooks through the mountains here and into the swamp. So we're going to need to place... it really should be this river right here. Although it drains into the swamp. Oh, this is interesting. I've never like embedded a map inside another map before. So this is an interesting challenge. So mountains there, they kind of hook down. I think I'm going to sandwich the swamp between this water here and here. So the mountains are going to need to hook down this way. And I'm going to make them smaller as I go. And not use the same stamp every time. So kind of like this. Well, they're on the other side of the water, though. This is a really interesting challenge. Yeah, Faye, the reason the lava is difficult to make is simply because it's if I cut through the land, it has a water beneath, it has water layer beneath it. So like if I just go to subtract, the subtract tool, so there's just water beneath the land. But to make it orange, I have to actually paint on it, and that's a different brush. It's a different way of applying the color. So it's a little bit different to make, especially to get like the shorelines and stuff. I have to paint it in there, so it's just a little more strenuous. But it's still it's worth it. It creates a cool effect. All right, so the river, we need to have a big river cutting through this if we're gonna recreate this guy. I didn't mean to do that. Tom, welcome in, my friend. The tool is called Incarnate. It's a free online map maker. I'll put it in chat for you. Oh, there we go. Slendy's got it. Thank you, Slendy. Sophia over on the video app. Hello, video website. I'm not making a game. I am making a fantasy map for my book. All right, I keep meaning to pan, and I'm instead carving. All right, so the river's going to be bigger up in the top area. So let's go to like a 10 on that brush size. That's even a bit big. Maybe an 8. All right, and it comes down kind of like this. Right? Yeah. It comes down kind of like this, and then it hits the mountains. I should have actually made it smaller, because it does get smaller around the mountains. Kind of like this. You know, if we wanted to get crazy, I could actually take this image and embed it in the map and then trace over it. That could be a fun way to do it, y'all. Let's give that a try. Let's give that a little try. Let's export. Okay. Now here, let's see. I know there's a way to like add an image in. It's just been a hot minute since I've done it. Where are we at in here? I'll give you guys can see the options. Oh, nope, it's still off screen if I click that way. I know there's a way to like add an, oh yeah, it's in stamps. It's considered a stamp. So I need to open this. I need to, where is it at? Me, there's a way to add a custom stamp. Oh yeah, Pop-Tart, we can totally make roads in here. You can see on this one that they're not the nicest roads ever made, but oh sorry y'all, it's really small for you. You know, there's some roads that I did in here, but I'll do more official ones. Here's another good example, but I'll get more official ones as we go. Now, how do I add the stamp, y'all? I know there's a way to do this. I've done it before. Could it be over here? No. Oh, upload custom asset. There we go. I knew we could do it, folks. We have the power. All right, so let's upload this map. Stamp name, that's fine. Preview skills, it's a little bit big, but that's okay. We'll size it down. Let's put it in there. It's loading in. All right, now did that just put it on the map? It did not. Okay, so it's somewhere in my stamps. So let's go to the catalog again and try to find where it went. Haha! Folks, we did it. There is the other map. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here. We're going to size it up to the right space, thereabouts. And then I'm going to make it slightly transparent. and then I can just trace right over it. This is gonna be such a help, y'all. Oh, I'm so glad I thought of this. It's actually really confusing to look at right now. So what's the right opacity level? Something like this. Okay. I think it needs to be more kind of like this. I don't know. We gotta figure out where to center this exactly. CC Bjorn, yes, they are mostly pre-made stamps, but you can add your custom ones if you want, like I've done with my other map that we're embedding in here. But yeah, most of them are custom stamps. Or, sorry, are preset stamps. Andrew, good morning, my friend. How you been, buddy? How's the weather down in Florida? So I need to change, I wanted to put this regional map into my world one. I actually need to make the edge of this continent that we're working with doesn't work in its current shape, so we might need to change it or just kind of move it up more like this. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it like here, and I'm just going to go ahead and rearrange the terrain until this kind of works. So there we go. That's the layer we're going to follow. This is going to get ugly for a hot minute, y'all, but I am going to basically carve out this terrain onto our existing map. So let's add land, a decent sized brush, and we're going to need to add some coastline. I think that's actually already... No, yeah, we do need to add some land in here. Okay, so let's put that back where it was. Okay, we need to carve in some coastline like here. Probably like this-ish. There we go. We'll take it like that for now. Obviously, that's not a very natural coastline there. Not a lot of right angles that occur in nature. We'll improve it. The plains can do there. We need to add the fungal jungle, as it's called. Chat named that one. I think that's a very fun name. So let's just kind of sketch it out, and then we need our swamp, which is going to be colder than I anticipated based on its proximity to the ice wall down here. And we'll fill this in. RJ, we are using Incarnate. It's a free online map maker. Put it in chat there. Check it out. Highly recommend. It's a ton of fun. Alright, if I move this map... Okay, the land area is correct. So now let's get these rivers drawn in here a little bit. It's like a 8 on the brush size. Oh wait, and let me remove... Yeah, the existing river, because it's not quite in the right place. There we go. Back to that 8 on brush size. Go to the subtract tool. CC Bjorn, you asked, it might be a silly question, but once you've made your map, do you own the rights to the design? You do. Whether you're on the free tier or the pro tier, but if you're going to use your map in commercial applications, you need to be on the pro tier to get those licensing rights. But if you're just doing it for fun or for a D&D campaign or whatever, like, have at it. You don't need to be on the pro tier. Given it's a very affordable everything. I think the pro tier is $20 a year, so can't be too mad about that. Alright, so let's put this river in here-ish. We're going to refine all of this, y'all, but for now I'm basically just tracing over this map, the old one, and we're going to remove it and then fine-tune everything. So let's get like a 2 on brush size because I want to do this little river here. And we're going to make it even smaller so we can do these little rivers coming off the mountains. There we go. And And now back to our 6, because I'm narrowing the river here at the Rapids of Regret, as it's named. Maybe even a 4 now, as it narrows further. There we go. And then, boom, to a waterfall right there. Let's get a smaller brush size, because we have a little small river there. This is definitely the best way to recreate this. It was going to be really hard to draw this entirely by hand. No, I say by hand, that's not quite the right term. By comparing the two maps. Alright, there we go. Now we need to do... Alright, this our water already exists, so that's fine. We're just going to add to it here. Just loosely draw these rivers in. We'll come through and fine-tune all this. Don't worry about that. Any tips for making a castle design? You're making a D&D one-shot, and it takes place in a demon-taken castle. In what regard? What are you looking for? Because, I mean, what I would do if I was looking for a castle is I would just look through extant famous castles and take some pictures for inspiration, basically. I think that would be a fun way to do it. Look, as a fantasy author, I may or may not already have a folder on my computer of my favorite castles. And I would definitely just go looking through that and pick one that seems most fun. I admit nothing. Alright, let's get this water rounded out. We got a big river in here. Back up to like an 8 on brush size. A little bit of oxbow action going on here. There we go. Alright, and I guess I got to continue this river down to the coast. I don't like that curve. Can I show it whole? Yeah, Mr. Deluxe, we can do that. Give me just a moment here, and we will do that. And like I said, y'all, we'll go by and we'll refine all these things. We are just drawing our rough approximation. Let's do a quick zoom out. There's our full map as it stands at the moment. Lamp legs make a delta? My man, I do love a good delta. In fact, I've got one over here. I'll zoom in on it here in a minute. And there's definitely going to be a big ol' Amazon rainforest area here on the bottom left. Cyprus in the middle, you're correct. My family's from there. We put it in as a rough approximation of it as an Easter egg. Everybody immediately saw it, knew it was Cyprus, so we said, you know what, forget it. We're making an official Cyprus right here in the map. It now exists in my fantasy world. Here's our rough delta. I just cut this in really quick. We're gonna tune that up a bit. All of this is rough right now, y'all. We're gonna fine tune it. Noah, on the video website, you said you love this. What's my inspiration? Do I just freestyle? I mean, I largely freestyle, yeah. The region I'm working on down here looks a little different because it's actually a previous map that I made at the region scale, like country scale, and now we're plopping it into the world map, so that's why it looks a little different. But the rest of it, we make it up as we go. We just have fun with it. Kind of just think about elements we want. Like we wanted some barrier islands, so we kind of created some right in here. And I think there's another batch up in here. So yeah, just kind of figure it out as we go. Is it a flat Earth? I don't know. It's a fantasy comedy world, so like I kind of just do whatever's funny and interesting. And we thought it would be interesting to have this like circle of ice around it, so we just kind of put it there. But yeah, I don't know. I think though, y'all, I'm kind of Daddy C. Yes, Incarnate is free. I'll put it in chat. That's the name of the map maker. I can't talk. That is the name of the map maker I am using. There is a free version. There is a paid version. Free version's plenty strong, but the paid one's $5 a month or $20 for the year, which is pretty darn good. Y'all, I'm kind of on the map that we're working on, the old one, the one we were working on, you know, it's got a swamp down here on the bottom left, and it's got this jungle in the bottom right. So that would imply warm weather. So there you see those are right here, but the ice wall's like right here. So I might need to come up with a reason why it's warmer here, and I'm thinking maybe we put a big old volcano or something, some sort of like volcanic fault line in here that's creating warm air that allows a swamp and stuff to exist over here. So I don't know. We'll think about that. If you got any good ideas, let me know. Okay, I think this region's kind of getting done there. Let's continue to sculpt out the terrain a bit. I need to move my mountains now to kind of accommodate all of this. I think it's hard to tell what mountains actually exist and which ones are stamped that are from the old map. Alessandro, the paid version just kind of has more assets for you to use. Also higher resolution maps. And the main reason that I think most folks get the paid version is it gives you the legal right to use your maps in your books or whatever commercial enterprise you are making them for. There we go. I want this one to be the top layer. Boom. All right, we just need a few more little mountains down in here. And then we got to put some hills in there. I'm getting better at identifying where the mountains are on the original map. They're the transparent ones. Kind of like this. Oh, you're welcome, Alessandro. I hope you enjoy it. It's a wonderful tool. All right, let's see. If I remove my layer there, okay. You know what it needs? There needs to be a little bit of less mountains right here because there's like a flat area where the Dark Lord's domain begins. Right around in here, and then I got to do the lava rivers, y'all. Oh no, I don't want to. It takes so long. They're so hard to make. They look so good, but they're so hard. Hapti, we're using ink carnate to make this. Thank you for the follows, by the way, everybody. I appreciate y'all. You're too kind. Noah, you said you live in Europe, so you get warmth from Mexican Gulf Stream. Maybe you could make a thing like that goes around the world. Yeah, that's a good idea. Gulf Stream, some equivalent could be swinging down here, bringing warm air in to create these more southern swamps. Could do something like that. Okay, are there any more? Yeah, these mountains are just massive compared to the map that I imported, which is okay. Oh boy, okay, that one's really big. Alright, let's see what it looks like with our cheaty map removed. I'm going to space a few things out here. This guy should be like up in here more. There we go. I'm going to make this more opaque so that I can just literally look at it as I put things in. Oh, you know what? We need a big old volcano in here too. Let's grab a volcano. And plop a volcano down. That's actually kind of the center of all of this. So that's going to help me position things nicely. This guy is very much in the way of my river. I fully agree, Sung Moon. The least favorite part of making these is making them geographically accurate. It's a lot of pressure. That's why I don't worry about it too much. Like, we largely just have fun with it, y'all. I think this, let's see, let's make it opaque again. It was like right here. Oh, that's a waterfall. That's why I left that there. Okay, so it was like this. So I need more mountains right in here. Oh, and I got to paint the little rivers for him too. Okay, we can do that. Let's go to our subtract tool. Let's make the brush size. This is going to be a 2 or a 1 on the brush size. And we're going to throw these little rivers down in here. Really needs to be a 1 on the brush size even. Not a 21. A 1. Alright, I think that kind of got it. So let's move that out. Yeah, I mean, they really need to be 1s. They're just a little bit too big there. Subtract, brush size 1. And let's pull this map back up and fit it on top. Like that. Subtract tool. Alright, you go like that. This one there. This one there. And then this one is bigger, so that'll be a 2. Boop. Like that. There we go. Jack, yeah, that's a nice idea to just make this map more opaque and like blend it in to the larger one. The only issue is the scale is just going to be so off on things. Like, these mountains that I've just put in are small compared to the other mountains on this map, but the ones on the imported original map are even smaller, so the scale would be a little bit rough. Give a quick zoom out for the folks that haven't seen the full map since they joined. There it is. And welcome in. Happy Friday. Hope y'all are doing well. Weekly, welcome back in. You want to look at the golden tree you suggested last stream? Yeah, we'll zoom in on that one. There's your golden tree. Right there in the middle of the autumnal forest. If I can click away, there it is. Love it. It's doing good. It's growing strong and healthy. Yes, that is Cyprus in the middle of the map. My family's from there. We put it in as an Easter egg, a rougher version, and it was way too obvious. Everybody saw it and commented on it, so we just went ahead and made it officially Cyprus, and we're going to say Cyprus exists in my fantasy world now. Y'all, if you're unaware, I'm author Alex Knight. Thanks for joining me today. This is our Fantasy Map Friday stream, and this map that we're working on is from my book, Wriggly Little Hands. It's linked in bio if you want to pick it up. It is a comedy fantasy where a bumbling family of goblins are sent on a quest to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon to help him defeat the forces of good, but they're goblins. They're not good at their job. They mess it up. They get distracted. They go on side quests. Whole bunch of nonsense. That sounds interesting. Links are in my bio. It's an audiobook. It's on Amazon. It's an ebook, paperback, etc., etc. Please give it a look. Get a quick save on here. The software we're using to make this is Incarnate. I just put it in chat. It's a free online map maker, and I highly recommend it. It's a whole bunch of fun. Alright, I think this is pretty good. Let's get this opacity down again. Put this guy back in here. If I can line it up again. I wish I could lock it to a certain area and then just turn it on and off. I probably can. What's the canonical spelling of Cyprus? I'm not sure. I've not named a lot of places outside of the stuff in the first book. So a lot of this stuff in here is gonna need names. Alright, let's match this volcano up to its actual position. And now we gotta do some lava rivers. Oh boy. Or at least we gotta sketch them out. So we'll start that. This one's actually they're all made from ravines. So I'm gonna take a paintbrush here. And we're gonna just mark it where they are on the map with a little bit smaller of a brush. And then we'll come back and actually put them in here. They take so much time. I have not been to Malta weekly. I would love to. Alright, there's our lava rivers. At least a couple of them. There's another one that goes here. Another one here. This is the lake, so we're just going to like make a big swirly. And then this is an even bigger lava, I don't know, fire ravine. Yeah, there were two things. There were lava rivers and fire ravines. What a wonderful, happy place, this legally distinct Mordor. All right, let's see if that... I can't even see him underneath the layer. Oh, because the opacity was so low. Oops. All right, let's trace that over again. No wonder I couldn't see it. Full opacity. KO, you said, how hard is it to actively stop yourself from unintentionally copying other maps? I don't have much of an issue with it personally. It is a little bit ironic to be saying that as I am actively copying my own map, but that's because I'm embedding this region in there. The old map is regional scale and this one is a world scale, and I want this region in there. But no, like real life maps and stuff, I mean, I definitely use them for inspiration. I've just always liked maps, so like it's just kind of fun for me. But I don't think I have too much trouble with worrying about straight up copying them. The truth is, if it's inspiration, right? So like if you're copying from it, it's because it meant something to you and it was cool, it was interesting, and it'll make it recognizable to other people. So like I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't know if that made any sense. Other name wasn't available, my friend. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're doing well. And thank you, everybody, for the follows. I appreciate that. Y'all are too kind. If you don't know, we stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7 a.m. Central Time. And we do something a little different each day, but Friday is our Fantasy Map Friday. Everybody's favorite day of the week. And my favorite stream of the week. All right, this river's not extended far enough. I don't know, my scaling was off or something. And there's a waterfall right here, so we'll leave a gap to remember there's a waterfall. I think that's a lot of. I think the only thing now is I need to put these ravines in, or these cliff faces. So let's grab some cliffs. And we need to grab the right type. That's a curvy one. That needs to be a bit smaller. First map you were obsessed with was the Ocarina of Time map. All right. Maps in video games are very valid. There are a lot of very cool maps that I look at in certain video games. All right, we had another canyon cliffside, like here-ish. We'll polish up a lot of this. I'm just slapping them down so I can remember where they are. And now we got a big ravine here we need to trace. So it's like that. And I think we got one of... Nope, that's not... Oh, no, that is right. That goes right here. Kind of like that. And we got to slap a little something on top of it. I'm not sure which one we had there. That's okay. We will touch that all up here in a minute. We're just doing rough approximations, and then we'll get back to making it the way we want it. Well, that's clearly that piece. You can't even see it. Sorry, guys. I think if I flip this piece horizontally, I'm using it somewhere else. No, maybe not. Get out of here. What's a recent map you think is great just by the art style? For you, it's Elden Ring. Yeah, the Elden Ring map's pretty sick. I think they've done a great job with that. Let's think. Any maps that I've seen recently that I've been excited about. Okay, so the art style is not that cool, but I really like the Lord of the Rings Online map. I think they did an incredible job with it. And it covers so much of Middle Earth. It's really cool. It's just like it's an elaboration on Tolkien's maps, and I think that's really cool. What piece did I use here? Something like this, probably. We'll touch all that up. And now I think this is a horizontally flipped, whatever this canyon piece is. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Alright, I think that's going to be the canyon kind of sketched out. Maybe one more piece off on the right side over here. What piece is it, though? I think it's this guy? Yeah, there it is. It's that guy. Alright. So now what I'm going to do, last thing, I'm making this on Incarnate, guys. It's a free online map maker. Feel free to check it out. Noah, yeah, everybody always comments on Cyprus when I zoom out, but that's okay. It's fun, something to talk about, and I'm excited to write it into the fantasy world. Halloumi will definitely be included. If you haven't had halloumi, it is a wonderful cheese product of Cyprus. It's delicious. Please try some. The last thing I want to do before I get rid of my regional map and just, you know, finish recreating it in here, I'm going to paint the ground to signify each region here. Oh, thank you, Sung Moon. You're spot on. I do need to add the lakes from the fungal jungle. Good eye. All right, two last things before I'm done. All right, so let's sketch out the lakes. I'll cut up their shorelines later to make them more natural looking. For now, we're just going to sketch them on in here. There we go. Yo, I'm really excited about embedding this little like regional map in here. I've never done anything like this. We literally thought of how to do it on the fly. It's super cool. Give my mouse fingers a challenge here. Sketching all these. All right, I'm gonna turn this into shoreline. These big lakes. We're going to turn this into shoreline, so I'm just going to cut out everything beneath it and make this the edge of the continent. Boom, like that. Let's say it goes like this. So now let's brush size up and eliminate this land. What? Nico asked, "What's my TikTok login?" Just for fun. Yeah, sure. Let me just go grab my password real quick for you. Man, I don't even know my password. I made it a long time ago, and my phone logs me in. Benji, you like the fungal jungle? Hey, thank chat for that. That we voted on that when I was making the map, and chat wanted to make it. So we made it. They came up with the name and the vibe for it all. So like, thank you, chat. All right, now I want to just paint a couple marks in here to remind myself about where our swamp is versus where our fungal jungle will be, etc., etc. So let's make sure our opacity is decently high, and we're just going to grab a big brush. This is our dividing line. The swamp is over here. This is all swampy terrain. Let's make sure that's working. Okay, well, it didn't darken it enough, so we're going to go full opacity on it. There we go. Caleb Browning, welcome in. Happy map day to you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well on this wonderful Friday. To close out the work week. The app is Incarnate, y'all. It's a free online map maker. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. All right, let me grab a pink color so I can paint the fungal jungle ground area. I must have done it with not a texture, but actually a brush or color. So we'll do that. Ooh, that stands out. That's all right. We'll improve it. All right, the plains are up here. Those are very sad and gray. So we'll put this like here. It's very white right now. We'll fix that. Alright, so it'll be something like that. We're just painting in rough colors here. And then the barrows are up here. It'll be a slightly different color. There we go. Alright, that should be all the colors that we need. So I think we can finally get rid of... There we go. We can get rid of our... Oh, that's funny. It slips under the ice. Just tuck it away. I'm going to leave that map, like... I'm just going to turn it off so you don't see it, but I'll be able to come back to it. Because it's useful. So let's name that object. Alright, we're just gonna slap it up here in the corner. I'll pull it out when I need it. Tuck it under the ice. Y'all don't see it, it's not there. Let's get a quick full zoom out for the folks that haven't seen that in a hot minute. There's our full map. Don't mind the bottom right. It's in progress, that's why it looks so weird right now. Turtle, you said, have you added a fascist oppressive kingdom? I have not yet. Sometimes I like my fantasy to not reflect the present reality too much. George Octavian, we're using Incarnate to make this. It's a free online map maker. Question mark asked, any thoughts of doing like a scary biome or a very high level one? If we're doing that, I mean, definitely right here, the Dark Lord's domain, our legally distinct Mordor, would definitely be high level. And the Caverns of Whispering Web are also a very creepy spider-filled area. I'd say those would be decently high level if it were a video game. Constantine, we're using Incarnate. The reason Cyprus is in the middle of the map is my family is Cypriot, and I put Cyprus in there as an Easter egg, but it was more of a rough approximation, but everybody instantly spotted it. So we just said, you know what, we're gonna full put Cyprus in the map just for fun. So now Cyprus is a part of the fantasy world. I need to add the Caverns of Whispering Web in here, or do I? Maybe we just say, I mean, they're underground, right? So maybe we don't need to add them. All right, let's isn't the river on both sides of Turnback of the mountains here? No, the mountains are on both sides of the river, which we've achieved. Okay, cool. Marcy, yeah, it is pretty goofy how there's like actual fantasy regions and then just Cyprus in there, but the whole series is goofy, so that fully tracks with what we're going for. Alright, these mountains all need to be a bit smaller because they're on the edge. Kind of like here. Alright, now I think we need to expand the mountains up here off the top. BP, what's the book about? Well, cool. I'll do a couple things. I'll answer a couple questions. We'll zoom out real quick so y'all can see the full map. And then I will save, and while it's saving, I'll talk about the book for a moment. Yeah, guys, I'm not abandoning the caverns. It's just on the other map, they're a cutout. You know, they're underground. So we just kind of represented it like this. I was just thinking maybe we don't do the cutout on this one, but chat seems to want them, so maybe I'll cut them out again, put them in there. But anyway, here's the full map as it stands, and then let me get a save. And while that's saving, it is from my book, Wriggly Little Hands, which is a comedy fantasy about a bumbling family of goblins on a quest to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins, y'all. They're not good to be relied on for things. They don't go in timely manner. They don't do things in the order they should. They get distracted and go on side quests and start random fires. It's very goofy. If it sounds like something you'd be interested in, the links are in my bio. It's on Amazon and Audible, anywhere you can get books. And this is actually the map for book one, the like statewide, countrywide map. We're now expanding to the world map because next week I start writing book two, which is going to be very fun. Oh, Slendy, I missed your heart me and your tiny tiny. Thank you, my friend. Hey, you know the tradition, gift for a gift. Thank you very much for both of those. There's my gift in exchange. Looks like the Lord of the Rings map. I mean, I'll take that. I'm fully happy with that comparison. That's really a one continent map, but I'll take it. Thank you, BP. That's very kind of you. All right, y'all wanted the caverns, so let me grab our overlay, and we'll put the Caverns of Whispering Web in here. As soon as we match this up, like that, there we go. So the caverns are going to be right down here. So let's do that. Like there, and I need to, what mountain is this? This guy's in the way. I just need to grab some cliffs basically to cut it out again. Alright, I think it's this one? No. It's this guy. Scale it down a little bit, put it like that. And then something like, yep, it's this one. I think, maybe not, but it'll do. Now we need we need the left side of it, so there we, nope, that's too curvy. It's a little more straight. There it is. It's this one right here. And a bottom left corner. Where are you at? Like that? No, no, it's not that. It could be a bottom right that I horizontally flipped. I think that's what it is. No, it's not that guy. Haha, there it is. That's the piece. It's this one, and then I layered something else on top of it. That's why it's tricky looking. Like this. Boom. Okay, that'll be good enough. So now we can remove the overlay. And we can go in here and we'll fine tune the caverns now. Yes, a Dragon K. This is a world map. We're just working in a small corner of it right now, but here's the full zoom. Noah, thank you. That's kind of you over on the video website. You said this would be great for an open world fantasy game. Man, I'd love that. That'd be so cool. I'm a huge MMO fan, so I would love that. And you asked, does the Dark Lord only rule this little island? Yeah, probably. I think I don't want to give any spoilers for the book, which, by the way, linked in bio. Please check it out if you're interested. It's very goofy. Spoofs a lot of fantasy books. I don't want to give any spoilers for it, but the Dark Lord is focused on things other than acquiring land initially. So he's got his kingdom down here, but he's doing other things beyond that. Sung Moon, you asked who was the cover artist for Wriggly Little Hands. So I worked with a gentleman named Ivan Shavrin on this. He did my cover for Wriggly, and he also did the cover for the prequel, which is coming out very soon, Wriggly Little Assistant. I absolutely love working with him, and I cannot wait to get him to work on the sequel's cover, which he should be doing pretty soon. Shout out to Ivan Shavrin. He's on ArtStation and Instagram, all those good places. Alright. What was I doing? The caverns. We were working on the caverns down here, guys. Let's get these canyon walls put together nicely. Kind of like that. Oh, I got to put the spider webs back in. That took a hot minute last time. And we got to get rid of some of these rivers that are chilling out on top that shouldn't be here. How does it work in here? The caverns are to the side of the river. Yeah, this seems to track, I think. Caverns are here, the river goes around it to the right. So that should be like right here. Let me just grab my overlay. Ah, Dragon, you're drawing a map traditionally. Rock on. That's a fun way to do it too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's the map for, if I may ask? Alright, so we can actually cut out these rivers. They're not on the original map. We don't want to play with you anymore, rivers. We've got more than enough rivers here. What I need to do is just plop some mountains on top of it. Because this is like an inlet basically from the ocean. You know, right down in here. Though I did like how sharp it was. So I don't want to fully... I liked how it came to a point that seemed natural, and now I'm having trouble recreating that naturalness of it. Something like that. Cyst drip spaghetti, you said you can just wake up and casually create a civilization. Awesome. Best way to start a Friday morning. A cup of coffee and a little bit of civilization building. Alright, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a mountain, which I need to change the color of them because the mountains around the caverns were transitioning from this reddish color into a more gray neutral tone. So we'll do that. But I'm going to plop these mountains down here, and these little rivers are more so coming from the mountains than they are anything else, is the concept at least. Be a lot of fine-tuning on this area, but this is good progress to get this in here. I'm happy about that. There we go. And now I need to move this guy because it is blocking a couple rivers. Which actually... Oh, is that the waterfall? No, it's just the beginning of the swamp, I think. Jared, we're using Incarnate to make this. It is a free online map maker. Very fun. Highly recommend. Okay, so... Oh, there's a little cave in there, too. I need to see if I can get that. This big river is just kind of chilling in the swamp. Somewhere around here-ish. So this mountain, actually, I think that's actually part of the swamp. That mountain shouldn't even be there. Not sure. It's alright. It's not a direct one-to-one. We're doing the best we can. Thank you for the follows, everybody. It's very kind of you. My follow notification sound is just like doesn't work anymore. I don't know what happened, but I still see them come in. I just don't get the audio notification. It's a little weird. I miss it. All right, let's tune up these. This mountain's like the canyons and stuff have all encroached on its space. Let's get it on top of all that. Maybe a horizontal flip on it to make it fit in here a little bit better. Yeah, see, now it fits a bit better. Do something like that. That kind of works. Jake Hartman, hello, hello. Over on the video app. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to you. Alright, what color did I make the ground? I made the ground darker in the cavern, so let's make it very, very dark down here. And how did I do the top? Just kind of, I like that. It's done correctly. The program we're using, Norse, is called Incarnate. It's a free online map maker. It is awesome. Give it a look. Here we go. Here's our black floor for the caverns. Though, I say that, but I kind of messed it up down here. I don't want to do it over top of this cliff edge. Need to keep it beneath the cliffs. There we go. All right, so that's symbolizing a cave floor down in there. Because this is really a cutout. It's not actually a canyon. This is underground territory, but I don't know how to show it. So we're just putting cliffs around it to kind of signify. And then I need a massive amount of spider webs after I draw some paths through it. So we're going to draw some real tiny paths real quick. Find a gray brush for that. In fact, we'll just go straight for color instead of texture. Something like that should work. Now, I'm definitely not tracing the previous paths that were there. We're just, oh boy, that's way too gray. Let's go more like this. That's better. Make the brush size like a 4. Nope, too big. 2. We're just going to put some of these paths down in here. Although I think they should have a little bit of opacity. They're looking a little bit too harsh when they're full color. Y'all, you got any good weekend plans? Anything you're excited about going on? Tell me about it. I have a rather lazy weekend planned, at least until hockey practice on Sunday, so that's never very lazy, but always fun. But Saturday should be nice and lazy. That's the goal, at least. Okay, here's some nice winding paths to get lost in underground here. There we go. Sung Moon, you gotta work? That's no fun. Sorry to hear that. I hope you had a couple other days off to make up for losing your weekend. Holy cow, you get 6 weeks off? My goodness. Rock on. I don't think I have 6 weeks off in a year. I say, as I am actually my own boss, and that is my own fault. Alright, let's find these spider webs we gotta put in here. What do you mean no results found? There's definitely spider webs. I've used them before. Maybe, oh, I'm in the wrong asset pack. Go to Fantasy World for it. Is it Battle Map that I pulled it from? Where did it come from? Alright, let's just do all of Incarnate's asset library. It's not, let's see. If I click on this web, oh, is it cob? Well, if it's cobweb, it should come up under web as well. Nope. You're spot on. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it, Zeffy. You were spot on, my guy. Alright, so I think it was these. There we go. Houston 810, what's up, my guy? Welcome in. Are you, I mean, I would assume that you're watching from Houston based on your name, but if so, that's where I'm streaming from, my guy. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let's get a whole bunch of nasty spider webs up in here. Oh, their opacity's down. I didn't notice that happen. We fix. Sigma, what's up, my guy? Welcome in. Glad to have you. Thank you for joining today. How's your Friday going? Off to a good start, I hope? I say, making a spider-infested underground hellhole. Ugh, this area creeps me out, y'all. Alright, I think that's a good amount of web in there. That looks appropriately terrifying. What do we think? Y'all like that? Zeffy, what's the synopsis? Oh, here you go. I'll grab a save, and I'll tell you. The book is called Wriggly Little Hands. It's about a family of goblins who go on a quest to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon so they can help him defeat the forces of good. But they're goblins. You probably shouldn't rely on them for important things. So they get sidetracked. They go on side quests, start random fires, have adventures, eventually get back to doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's a very goofy comedy fantasy, and it's on Amazon and Audible, anywhere you buy books for the most part. So if you'd like to check it out, please, by all means. Defeat the forces of good, Kayla. You like that one? Yeah, well, I mean, they're goblins, you know? They serve the Dark Lord, so they're on his side in the fight between good and evil. At least they try to be on his side. I'm not sure they're the best, the best allies to have in all of this. Victor, for narration, the book is produced by Sound Booth Theater. So the audiobook features Dory Sachs as the primary narrator, but has a ton of guest narrators, such as Jeff Hayes and Justin Thomas James, Gary Furlong, etc., etc. All the big names at Sound Booth Theater got in on this one. So it was a blast to have them all on it. They are just incredibly talented folks. Alright, let's move these mountains in a little bit now that the caverns are... Oh, and you know what? I had actually done a road leaving the cavern. So we'll put that bad boy in here too. Your one hope for getting out alive, either tasting bad enough the spiders don't want to eat you, or finding the road and moving quick. Oh, thank you, Victor. I hope you enjoy it, my friend. I appreciate you taking a chance on it. It's very goofy. If you're looking to chuckle and have a little bit of fun in a fantasy world, give it a try. Hope you enjoy it. Saystar, yes, actually, the Web Cave, the Caverns of Whispering Web, are in Chapter 2 of the book. You get there right away. Oh, and I wanted to change these mountains color. Yeah, plopping this whole region down has created so much work right off the bat. There's so much to do for it. Zephy, you think it could be a very fun D&D campaign? Yeah, man, I totally agree. I would love to run a campaign. I mean, one of my reviewers literally called it a D&D campaign where nobody put any points into intelligence, and the DM's taking a shot after every chapter. Fully agreed. That's exactly what it feels like. What are my influences on the map? I mean, primarily just having fun. We're just kind of making it as we go. I mean, I love the Lord of the Rings map. Middle-earth is very cool. There's a lot of maps. I got satellite maps on my wall back there of my hometown. So I don't know. I've just always liked maps and geography. I don't know if there's any real I guess, actually, you know what? There are direct influences. This is inspired by the Andes Mountains in the Amazon right here. This idea of a high spine of mountains that keeps cold, dry air on one side, trapping moisture on the other, creating like a rainforest. So I'm really excited to finish building this area. Obviously, we have Cyprus in the middle. My family's from Cyprus. I'm really craving autumn, so we started putting an autumnal forest in here last time. So we'll get back to that. Someone in chat wanted to make a frozen cold bog area, so we did that up here. Well, at least we put it in. We'll fine tune it. So yeah, those are kind of. This is supposed to be the Great Lakes region. We kind of took some inspiration from the Great Lakes, but all that needs fine tuning. So we'll keep going on it. For now, I'm loving working down here. I love that we got the Book 1's area in here. How long do I think it'll take Sung Moon to make this? Oh boy. I don't know. I'm just having fun rocking with it. It'll be a while. We'll be working on it for a hot minute. Ooh, Tyler, you're spot on. I need to do a sunken lost city. Well, there is a sunken lost city in the book later on. So you're right. I'm going to make a note of that. I need to put that in here. So we're going to do that. Let me make a note. Also, considering the events of Book 1, I need to expand and change the topography of this area a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of work on that. I think we take out half of these barrier islands and turn this more into a full continent, because the goblins go places in Book 1, and if this is where Book 1 starts, then I need to make those places on the map. AJW, we make this with ink Carnet. I'll put it in chat for you. Jake Hartman, you said, when am I going to start on Wriggly Little Hands 2, Wrigglier and Handier? I start writing it next week. Wriggly Little Hands 2, also known as Wriggly Ever After, begins writing next week. NS, you said, what's the book called? It's right here, and it's linked in my bio if you want to pick up a copy. I am a full-time author, so that is how I make my living. If you want to pick up a copy, I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, what did I do? I just clicked somewhere and I don't know where it was. Accidentally just casually deleting stuff from my map without noticing it. Very cool. There we go. Okay, there's my brush. Let's zoom in a little bit. Don't worry, I'll roughen up this coastline that we're changing here. Though I loved that little bay kind of going on. Alright, now we'll go to subtract. Let's carve this bay out a little bit. Alright. I needed more land in here for stuff we're going to add. In S, no, I do not use any AI. I stay well away from AI tools. I enjoy writing and brainstorming and all that good stuff. So there's no reason that I would want a robot to do it for me. There we go. That roughens up the coastline in a way that I wanted. And let's keep doing that the whole length. Gotta look more natural. Delete that island. As these 3 bumps that are here look a little bit unnatural, like that repetition feels wrong for a natural thing. So we're gonna change the shape of them a little bit. There we go. That feels better. When am I gonna be done with this? I've been doing it for a year. I've been doing it for about a month and a half. But it's not about finishing it. It's about having fun with it. We got a lot to do on this bad boy. It's going to be beautiful when it's all said and done. All right. What else? I got to add a couple other regions for book 1. If this is basically where book 1 takes place. How many maps have I made on stream now? I can go to the maps real quick and see. Hold on. We'll do this. I think 4. I think we've made 4 on stream. Let me grab them. If we go here, do this one. No, we've made 3 on stream. So on stream, we have made, obviously this one that we're working on now. Right here. And then we did most recently, our most recent finished one was this one, if I can zoom out on it, which actually exists on the current map. I'll show that in a moment. And then the first map we ever did on stream was loading. That's just an excuse for a coffee break. Here we go. Here's the first map we made on stream. Just this is actually where the experiment started. We just started making a map on stream. Now we're making them for my books. That's the reason we're doing it. But yeah, so 3 maps total. 1, 2, and our biggest project yet, 3. Don't feed the JJ. This is Incarnate. It's a free online map maker. A lot of fun. Highly recommend. Pepperoni, what did I use for editing? So I self-edit after I write, but then I paid an editor that I know. I hired an editor to edit the final manuscript for me. I always work with editors for that. Tyler William, any reason why I'm creating the map? Well, I'm creating it to go with... nope, that's not right. My book here, Wriggly Little Hands. We're creating the map for the world of the story. And the book is linked in the my bio if you want to check it out. All right, let me think for a moment. I got to think about the terrain they go through in book 1. That's going to take me a hot minute, so I might just do it after stream. Let me make a note. Because what I'm thinking is basically book 1 takes place... Let me get a cursor you can see. Roughly right around here. So I want to make sure we got all the places in there. Zephy, how many books have I written? Here's many of them. I think if you count sequels, I'm at 10 books published, 12 or 13 written now, and we're going to keep them rolling. I got 3 more I'm working on right now. Not all at the same time, but in order. The sequel to Wrigley and the 2 sequels to Servant of Rage coming out next year. Noah, how many pages is the book? Wrigley is about 350 pages in paperback form. It's a pretty short, not short. It's a little bit shorter than your average fantasy book, but comedy tends to be shorter. So I'm pretty okay with that. I like shorter, fun stories anyway. All right. I need to change the mountain color. Around here, it turns more orange. What are the color settings on this? 20 on hue is the only change. So these mountains right down here are a different color than the red ones. There we go. Boom. And I'm going to take these guys, and we're going to just a little bit change their color. Instead of a 20, we'll go for like an 18, maybe even a 13. 10? 10 works. There we go. To show the gradual change in terrain between these mountains and the ones more south. Ash, welcome in. Good to have you. Glad you made it. Phoenix, thank you for saying you enjoyed Wriggly Little Hands, my man. I appreciate you. I'm glad you like it. It was very fun. It's probably my favorite book that I've ever. It is my favorite book I've ever written, for sure. And I want to write more like it. Sung Moon, yeah, we can work on the fungal jungle. Step 1's going to be getting this really bold, heinous pink color out of there, and getting the proper color in. That's just a place marker for now. Let's also clean up this coastline. Didn't quite finish doing that. Was this a lake and I'm turning it into something it's not? Oh well. Yeah, I mean it was a lake. Maybe I should put it back. Oh, I know what it was. It was a lake that I just didn't finish cutting out the center. That explains it. So let's do like a 6 on brush size. And we're just going to subtract and get rid of that land. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit more because the lake wouldn't be that close. I mean, it could be close to the coast, but... There we go. Is that roughly the shape of it? There's a little bit of a protrusion here that's missing. There we go. Good enough. Good enough for government work. Pedro, we are using Ink Carnet. I'll put it in chat for you. There you go. It's a free online map maker. And for those asking for a zoom out, here you go. Here's our full map as it stands. Long way to go. Isabel, good to see you. Been a while. How you doing? Over on the video app, whose name I can't say, but good to see you. Sorry you're in revising purgatory, but it makes the book better, right? Noah, okay, I answered your question. Very good. Thank you, Ash. I'm glad you like it. Arasanius. Cyprus is there as an Easter egg. My family is from Cyprus. I had a rough version of it included on the map, and everybody spotted it instantly, so we just went full in and said, you know what? Cyprus fully exists here now. We're just going to throw it on the map. And so there it is. Ooh, Dino, that's a fun idea. And in fact, you said, how about a land bridge that can be seen at low tides? Let me grab it. I have another map that has that on it. Oh, I exported it out of Ink Carnet. Hold on. It's on my website now. Here we go. So let me drag... Okay. There we go. That's how I depicted it on this one. Oh, wait, hold on. That darkened soil. If you can see it down on the left side. It's a tidal flat area. So I've done that before. I wouldn't mind doing it again. It's a cool concept. I really like it. This map was not made on stream. This is actually one of the first maps I ever made for a different book. Opa, what's the book called? It is called Wriggly Little Hands. Right here. It's linked in my bio if you want to grab a copy. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. And all the wonderful and whimsical ways they mess that up, because, come on, they're goblins. Don't give them important missions. That only ends poorly for everybody involved. Zephy, you said, how does it feel to be a full-time author? Man, it's awesome. The money's terrible. The money's not great yet, but it's enough to live off of, and I get to do my dream. So I'm pretty chuffed about that, y'all. It really is my dream job. There's a reason I put a lot of hours into this for not a lot of money, but it's very fulfilling work, and I love doing it. It's absolutely insane that I get to get up every day and write, tell pretty lies, as I like to say. Just write goofy books for people to enjoy. I'm very honored to be able to do it. When I start writing, what's my process? So basically what I do is I do what I call a skeleton outline. It is a very rough, I basically do a bullet point per chapter. And I just write down kind of what's going to happen in that chapter, really as briefly as possible. And then if I have more ideas on it, I'll expand on it. But for the most part, I keep it really simple. And then I write, my best stuff pops up in the moment as I'm writing. So I kind of like to leave it free. I like to leave room for that to happen. That's just kind of my process, you know, rough outline. And then just have fun with it, be creative in the moment, and follow the, the outline gives me an idea of where the book is going. So I always know where the end's going to be, and etc. But the rest of it, I just make it up on the fly. I think it's the only time as an author that I'm not going to know what's happening next in the book. So I really like to have that freedom, because it just allows me a little bit of time to enjoy the story, not knowing literally every detail of it. In terms of world building, I tend to start with the story, and then I build the world around the story. But in this case, this is, the story and the world were built in book 1. So now it already exists. So we're just expanding on it. I need to cut these lakes out a little bit more. But yeah, no, I like to build the world as the story progresses. But that's a personal choice. It's up to whatever you want to do, really. That just was what works for me. Especially because, since I write, I write to sell, right? This is my job. As much as I might like to spend a ton of time in world building, I do have to consider my deadlines and getting the next book out, because that's how I make money. I don't know why this gray color is not coming through. There we go. All right, now let's get back to some texture, and we're gonna make this. What texture did I use on my fungal jungle background? I did not save it. Uh-oh. Well, we'll figure it out. It's a pinkish purple, but I remember this was one of the hardest areas to do with these colors and make it look a little bit natural. I do not like how it's coming out, so let's just wipe it clean and start over. Set opacity to 100 and turn this bad boy green again. I'll leave this left edge because that shows me where it ends. But Advelios, good to see you, my guy. Welcome in. How you been? Happy Friday to you. All right, let's turn our opacity down. And we're gonna do, yeah, YOLO. I can show you the full map here in a moment. There we go, guys. This is just the lighter touch that we needed. I want that pinkish purple background hue because this is a mushroom area, the fungal jungle it's called. So I wanted the air to have this weird kind of spore quality to it. we can, and I think I actually turned, yeah, I turned the water different colors in there too, so we'll do that next. Here's a full zoom out for those asking for it. There's our map as it stands. Noah, you said, what do I like most? Animated shows, like anime or cartoons, or real life shows? I don't think I like one more than the other. I really appreciate the cool things you can do in animation, especially as a fan of the fantasy genre. There's a lot more fantasy animated shows than there are shows using, live actors. So I guess animation more. I like both. I mean, throw books in there too. I'd say all forms, really. Isabel, I'm sorry that it's been the most difficult book you've ever worked on, but stick with it. It'll be worth it in the end. But you know that. You've written more than a few books yourself. Cyprus is in the middle because my family is from Cyprus. So I put it in as an Easter egg, but it was way too obvious. Everybody spotted it immediately, so we went ahead and carved it out fully and just said, you know what, we're going to make an actual recreation of Cyprus and say it exists in this world. We're just having fun with it. It's a comedy fantasy world, so we're goofing a little bit while we're here. All right, let's get some green over top of that as we slowly build in this area. I'm going to do real low opacity. We just want like a smooth, we want like a little bit of a layer over top of this. Michael, I know 2 of the 3 words you said there. I don't know the last one. Imi? You said and I something. Also, it sounds like you speak Greek, so Kalimera. Yasu. Philomu. I know my conjugation's wrong on philo. I'm still learning. Have mercy. Alright, a little bit of purple in here to make this color stand out. And then we'll go back to that pink, and I think we're going to call that good for the blending of the fungal jungle until we get more of the trees and stuff in there. I have not read the Xanth series, Phoenix. What's it about? There we go. All right, there's a good one. Now I need to change. How did I change the watercolor? How did I do that? Oh, I just painted it. Yeah, silly me. Background, water, and it was a greenish tropical water we used. I think it was this one right here, in fact. In XZI, the app we are using is called Incarnate. It is a free online map maker. Oh, are the ripples turned off on this map? I'm not sure I meant to do that. Whoops. Xanth is a comedy fantasy series where the god of the fantasy world won Florida from Earth in poker. That sounds hilarious, dude. I'll write that down. That sounds really funny. I would definitely read that. Alright, hold on. Let's get... There's that green color we're looking for in these swamps, these lakes. Might even need to highlight it a bit more. Oh, I know what I did last time. It's all coming back to me now. I took a small brush, and I took a very yellow color, and I put it on low opacity, and then I highlighted the edge of the lakes so that they stood out with kind of this weird yellow-green glow. Yeah, see, it was like this. So it just made the water look creepy. It makes it look like something you probably shouldn't drink, which is kind of the vibe I'm going for in the fungal jungle. It's a lot of spores, a lot of toxic stuff you shouldn't mess with. But it's pretty. Y'all, I'm low-key proud of my tracing abilities right now. Normally I'm not that good. Today we're cooking with a little bit of fire, a little bit of gas. I say and immediately mess it up. Yeah, now I can't do it anymore. Now everybody's watching it and I can't do it. Yeah, see, I love that. I love how that makes it yellow. And now we're going to grab the watercolor we were just using. We're going to Make it brighter. And we're going to get down in here and finish painting these lakes a bit. I think it almost needs to be a bit more yellow, so let me grab that yellow color again. And a small brush, and we're going to put a little bit of a covering of this yellow. Yeah, okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make them full yellow, and then I'm going to go through with my watercolor that I'm using, the tropical watercolor, and we'll put that over top of the yellow. I think that's actually going to be a better depth effect. Alright, so there's that. Now let's grab our watercolor again, and we're going to lower the opacity a little bit, and now we're going to make this brush size smaller. And we're going to do this. Noah, I have watched a little bit of One Piece. I've never read any of it. I guess I need to up the opacity on this color. And the brush size. Maybe a 4 on brush size. There we go. That's the watercolor we're looking for. It should be a little bit concerning. You wouldn't want to dip your canteen in here and take a big ol' sip of it. Mildly toxic vibes, perhaps. I think I'm going to come through as well one more time after this, and we're going to put like a darker watercolor in the middle to show the depth of the lakes. There we go. Yeah, see, I'm digging that. Okay, very good, very good. I think that's a good place to be for the fungal jungle right now. I want to do the color on these planes as well, because these were all just stand-in colors that we just put up here for a minute. Samyak on the video app, where I'm also live, I have watched a fair bit of Dragon Ball Z. I'm a bit of a fan. And in fact, you might be able to see it in this one of my books. Servant of Rage is definitely Dragon Ball Z inspired. That is also linked in my bio. And if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, I highly recommend it, because that was fully just me having fun in a Dragon Ball Z-esque world. Alright, let's paint foreground. I'm just going to get rid of this, and we'll come back in with the actual color of the plains, which is very gray. There we go. Alright, let's find that gray color. What did we use for it? Some sort of gray texture. Let's find it. Okay, well, that didn't work. I think it was wasteland. It was a wasteland color. There it is. Dark gray wasteland. That's it. Phoenix, you think the song feels very RPG Village? That's kind of the vibe I was going for, man. Kind of a cozy, chill vibe. I don't think that's the right color. It's got cracks and stuff in it. Oh, you know what it is? I need to scale up the... There's a way to scale the texture in it. It's going to be like... I think it's this guy right here? Yeah, that's close. It's not quite it. It's got cracks running through the ground. It's not that. Which one of these is it? Is it this one? No, I think there's a way to change the scale of the terrain inside of it. I'm not sure what the word is right now. Texture scale. There it is. That's the option. Found it. So let's set that back to where it was. Now we just got to find the correct wasteland color. Is it you? No, it's got cracks in it. I'm just not seeing that in these. Is it you? No, that's not the right color either. All right, well, we're going to have to make our own because I can't find the exact color. It's just all these little cracks in here. You see that, like, how it's like a dry riverbed? That's what I'm trying to recreate there. Ronnie, hey, good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate you. Kiro, is this a D&D map? It's actually for my book, Wriggly Little Hands, but it is very D&D vibe-wise. That is for sure. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Alright, I can't find the texture I used for this, and I don't think I have it saved. That's a shame. Alright, well, let's clean this up, and we're going to try to recreate it as best we can. What's up, Skyrin? Nej, good to see you. Kiro, you can start, and Nej, both of you guys, you can make this on inkcarnate.com. It's a free online map maker. It's where I make it. And here, I'll give a quick zoom out. Here's the full map that we're working on, and we're not zoomed in, working on one little texture down there. Cecil Smith, I'm doing great, my guy. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? Noah, over on the video website, you said I just finished HTTYD edit, so excited to post it. What is How to Train Your Dragon? Is that what that is? HTTYD? Rock on, man. Very cool. Cyprus is there because my family is from Cyprus, and I put it in as an Easter egg, like a rougher version of it, but everybody instantly spotted it and called it out of Cyprus, so we had so much fun with it, we just went ahead and fully sculpted the full island of Cyprus there, and now that's now Cyprus is in this world. Why not? Alright, one of these textures is going to be what I'm looking for. I'm going to go with, like, this guy. Is this it? No, that's not it. Kind of works, though. The website is Inkcarnate. I'll put it in chat again for you. It's a very cool free online map maker. Highly recommend it. Y'all, wintertime, normally when I'm streaming, it's, like, fine, but something about the fall coming here, the light now just, like, beams me right in the eye. I got to put my actual curtain up again instead of just blinds. It's a shame. I want the natural light. I gotta stay leaned back. Every time I lean forward, it's something that like nails me right in the eye. Ooh, that's an interesting texture. I don't know what this wasteland was. I guess we're just gonna really have to recreate it here. So we're gonna use this. I'm gonna do this color, and then we're gonna go over it with gray afterwards to make it the proper color. I do have, did you see this? Is that why you said that, Cecil? The meteor hole, the impact crater. Yeah, we kind of do have that vibe going on up there. We're definitely going to expand on it, and I do put things on the map that viewers suggest, so by all means. In fact, the region I'm working on right down here, this little pink thing, is the fungal jungle down here. Viewers suggested that last time, and we made it. So that's how that got there. What's the book about? So the book is, here, I'll get a save while I talk about it, so you don't have to sit there and watch it save. The book is Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins, y'all. They get distracted. They get into trouble. They set things on fire for fun. General mischief and whimsy. It's a very goofy comedy fantasy. If it sounds interesting to you, the links are in my bio. You can grab it on Amazon or Audible. Basically anywhere books are sold. So please give it a look. I think you'll enjoy it. Why is the opacity low on this? Oh, that's interesting. All of these cliffs got pasted in with their opacity turned down, so they're hard to see. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Now we can see them. I was like, why are these so hard to see? Ah, thank you, Gastro. I'm glad that sounds fun. I certainly had fun writing it. It's my favorite book that I've written. I've written a fair few these days. Um, it's a real goofy good time. All right, we'll fix these. These cliffs need to go together a little bit better. Whoa! How did I just delete it? Did I hit Control X instead of? What have I done? I'm so confused. I hit undo and somehow that deleted all of the cliffs. I'm very confused. That's never happened before. What have I done? All of my cliffs disappeared. No. Can I have them back, please? Can I please have my cliffs back? I don't want to have to remake those. That was a lot of work. That's so weird. I've never just lost a bunch of assets like that. Where the heck did they go? Spent a lot of hours in this program. Wilma, welcome in. Sorry, you joined right as I deleted like 10 minutes worth of work somehow. The book is right here. It's called Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon and help him defeat the forces of good. But they're goblins, so you can't really trust them to do a good job or not get distracted, wander off. It's a very silly book. If you're interested, links are in my bio and on Amazon. Links are on my bio for the Audible. I can't talk. The links are in my bio for the ebook and the paperback and the audiobook, wherever books are sold. Yeah, no, I was thinking I could just undo whatever deleted the cliffs, but they're not returning. Like we're undoing backwards and the cliffs aren't coming back. Like, see, it just took away all the paint of the desert, the plains, but didn't return my cliffs. Give me my cliffs back. And I'm looking at, I'll go to display capture so you still can't see really. Move it like that. Here's the list of all the changes that have happened for a long time. But there's nothing in here to indicate deleting the cliffs. Update entity 9. That should be it, honestly. That's so weird, y'all. That's never happened to me. I think I'm gonna have to remake them. Oh, Ollie, the website is Incarnate. There you go. Free online map maker. Let's see. Now let's take it all the way forward with redo. Now we're most current, so I guess I just gotta redo the cliffs, y'all. That's such a shame. But oh well. We can do that. Let's put the template back over top. And find some more cliffs. Alright, so I need this guy right here. Why are you all rotated weird? It goes like that. What else am I missing cliff-wise? It's also got its opacity turned down. Hold please. We fix. There we go. There's that cliff returning. I'm really sad that I lost all those. I don't want to have to redo this. Yeah, I don't think they could have been hidden beneath anything because the paint is the bottom layer of the map. So the fact that I can't see them means they're gone. Like they're not. If I do this and highlight this area, see how there's like nothing. Sorry guys, I'm on a bad view. I've been on a bad view for a hot minute. If I highlight like this, see how there's nothing in the center? That's where all the cliffs were. They should have been like along this border edge, but it's not even identifying any assets there. So they got like full deleted somehow. Only thing I could think is I could restore way back. I think I just have to manually remake them. Yes, I think I'm just going to do that. All right, so let's... Jacob, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. I was just going to say, I hate to say it right as you join, but I was going to say, let's go ahead and call it for the day. Since I lost that progress, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off stream, and I'm just going to put those cliffs back in and call it there, and we'll pick up next stream with my cliffs back in. I don't know how they got deleted. That's very bizarre. But anyway, let's give a quick zoom out so y'all can see the progress we made today. I'd say we did quite a bit, honestly. Here's the full map as it stands now. I'm pretty excited about it. You can see the terrain is mostly finished, and we're starting to fill in various places now. It's getting interesting. I'm excited about it. Thank you for being here with me for it, for your suggestions. A lot of fun stuff people have been suggesting to throw in the map, so we certainly will. Steve, that is Cyprus in the middle. My family's from there. It's a little bit of an Easter egg. It was an inside joke that's just grown into the fact that, you know what? Cyprus just exists in this world now. But y'all, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Happy Friday to you. I hope the rest of the day goes smooth and you can enjoy a wonderful weekend. If you don't know, as we wrap up here, I am author Alex Knight. I've been streaming full-time Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 7 a.m. Central Time. These are my books. I do support myself full-time as an author, so if you want to support me or the stream, please check out any of these books. They're all linked in my bio, and that helps support me. Thank you very much. We will be back on Monday for the next stream, and next week we will continue working on this map as we get through it. Y'all, we put Cyprus in there because my family's from Cyprus. It was a bit of an inside joke, but it was too obvious, so we just said, you know what? We're going to make fully Cyprus right in the center of the world. And it's a goofy fantasy world this is from, so we're having fun with it. But, as always, folks, thank you very much to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which have provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you to community member Raffi the Engineer, who wrote and produced a song specifically for stream. Very kind of you, Raffi. Thank you for making Midnight at the Round Table our 5th background song. Of course, a shout out to my excellent mods. I couldn't do this without y'all. Thank you to Melissa Lee 28, Raffi the Engineer, One Happy Harpy, Simp1X, other name wasn't available, aka Slendy, Leisha T, and Aaron Winnick. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to chat as well. Y'all keep the good vibes going. I appreciate you. We have fun here, and that's because of the community. Y'all keep a good vibe, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Lastly, folks, if you've enjoyed this live, please give me a follow so I can catch you on the next one. I will be back Monday at 7 a.m. Central Time to keep the fun rolling. So thank you very much. Hope you had fun today. I will be back on Monday. And until then, folks, have a good weekend. Thank you for being here. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all. Be good. Enjoy your weekend.